Hey guys, welcome back to the Truthandtalespodcast with your favorite host, Victoria and
Yummy!
Yay! We are so excited to, finally be shooting again.
Yes.
I want to give a very big shout out to as many of you that have been engaging with our content online. We are so grateful for you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. For as many of you that keep on sending us your tales and asking for advice, we are so honored and we are so grateful to you guys. Okay, and today we have a truth, right, which is our own personal experience or life experiences. But today's truth is very interesting because it's coming from something that we both saw over the week on social media, which we'll be reading out to you and sharing our own life experience. So Yemi, what exactly are we sharing about today?
All right, so it's an interesting truth, and I think it's one that everyone can actually relate to. And also, the person's name sometimes is hard for me to pronounce. I don't want to murder somebody.
Chandler.
Is that Chandler?
Chandler.
That used to stress me. So that I don't know about murder somebody's name, but yeah, that's it put up this post on his Instagram. It's like, it's a public post, so it's not like it was a private post, something that we are both entitled to know. Yeah, so he wrote that just because you were in my life at one time or served the purpose in one season of my life, it doesn't mean you get automatic access to this season. If there's no constant effort or real constant relationship building, then it's entitlement to assume that you can just come in and pick back up, in quotes, where we started. This isn't a rollover minute cell phone plan, LOL. It's, I have evolved. So if the relationship has not evolved, then there needs to be a reintroduction. There's no such thing as rollover, in quotes, access to my life. Okay, I think basically he's kind of like, from my own understanding, I think he's more or less talking about, when you've maybe known somebody for a while at a particular season and there was like a gap, maybe you people lost contact, but there was like a gap in between periods in time, and then they come back at a certain time and they just expect to kick off where you guys left off, like the same energy, the same excitement that you both had when you were in that previous phase. You just continue that way and just feel like, oh, we are besties all over again. He is kind of saying that there has to be some kind of reintroduction, or there has to be some kind of effort. Yeah, because he has probably evolved. He has evolved over time. So if the relationship does not evolve accordingly, then you don't assume that you just have that automatic privilege or access the way you used to me now. Right? So that's my understanding of it. Victoria, what do you think? What do you think about it?
So honestly, when I saw this post, it was one or two things, right? I don't disagree with, the content in itself, but I still don't 100% agree with it, okay? Because personally, especially as the kind of person that I am, because the first thing I did was I tried to equate it to my own life and how much grace I have received from friends, right? I think I've said it on this channel that if my friends were those people that like to cut people off, I probably will not have any friend left. Right? And I also know that there are times in your life that certain people will come into your life to serve certain purposes. When I was in school, I had friends that were close to me when I was just starting in school. I remember there's this particular lady, she's like, I love her, honestly, Caroline. When I just got into Ghana, I didn't know anybody. I was confused. I was in that state where I didn't really know things. And this lady was there for me. Like, I was passing through certain things with the people I was living with at the time. And she was just there. Like, God really used her for me in that season of my life. But when I finished my 200 level and I went into 300 level, I stopped because, my school has like morning session and evening session. Evening session are for mature students, those who work and still want to have a degree. So I got a job in my 300 level. So because of that, I could not, I had to leave the class basically and join a different class, which is the evening class. And, before I was the morning class. So because of that, I lost a lot of friendship a lot of people that, you know, we've built 2 years of not necessarily friends, but just that closeness of, oh, we are classmates and stuff. A lot of them stopped talking to me and stuff like that. And I understand that because I am not in this season with them. In the new session I went into, I was able to form a little bit of relationship. I said a little bit because it's really, really difficult for me to make friends. I'm too particular about the people that I allow into my space. But this lady, right, remember that when I was in 100 level and everything, she was like there for me every time. So when I switched classes, then I met, you know, well, it was in 200 level that I met my two good closest friend that, you know, now it was there that I met them. But when I switched to evening class, we kind of were close because we were living in the same proximity. We attended the same church and stuff like that. Because of our proximity, it was easier for us to maintain that closeness. I'm sure that if we didn't attend the same church, if we didn't live in the same environment, we probably also would have like fallen out, so to speak, with, you know, with them also, because I know it's not a good thing, but I also know that I am that friend that don't really make efforts to keep friendship, which I know that it is bad, but I don't know. It's not, it does. Some people, I have like one of my very close friends, like Christy is so good at maintaining friendship. I still think that the reason why the three of us are friends, and I know Bolaji will agree with me, the reason why the three of us are still so close is because of Christy. Because Christy is she's so intentional about friendship that she would put meetings, like at a point, I remember there was a time that we're not really like, every time we check on each other once in a while, we're not really close. And Christy would literally put it in our calendar, our like Google calendar, and do a Google meeting that every Thursday we are meeting to catch up. Right? And then the days for prayers and stuff like that. And the day that we don't meet, the way Christy will raise hell. You understand? Because she's gifted with that intentionality for friendship. Not everybody. Some people like me, when we get busy in life, when challenges come, sometimes we just get distracted. It doesn't mean that you mean less to me. It just means that I just have a lot going on for me, right? And sometimes I don't think that it's not me prioritizing our friendship. Sometimes it's just that life is happening to me in this season, and I cannot be there as much as I was. And that's what I appreciate about my friend that I was talking about earlier, Caroline. I remember in my 400 level, you know, she okay, well, anyways, the man she's married to now, I know how they all started and stuff like that. I remember she wanted to do her birthday, and, you know, she was really, really not happy that we have grown apart, and her boyfriend reached out. It was just so nice to see her like reaching out. Until today, Caroline still reaches out to me till today. I'm talking about school we left like 7 years ago. She still calls me, she still sends me messages, she still checks up on me. Now I try to check up on her, to reach out to her and all of that, but I'm still saying, and this is my own first opinion, that when it comes to, you know, and I think that we are so quick to like cut people off. Like if they are not serving you, you don't care about what they are going through in their own personal life. You don't care about, you know, because as life is happening to you, my brother, life is happening to them. So you can't just say because they are not, you know, they are not there for you, and then they are trying to now check up on you, now start giving them attitude. Why? And the reason why I said we should not hide their identity, because it kind of gives you a context, right? Because reading this, what is in my mind is, when I was unsuccessful, we were, you know, friends, and then, you know, for some reason we fell out. Now that I am successful, you can't just come into my life and say that because I know you from the days, then I am, you know, and stuff, and you now want to be rubbing shoulder with me because you've known me then. I am no longer that person you used to know. So you have to like, you have to reintroduce. I think it's that word reintroduction that I have issues with, because like I said, I will get back to this because I want you to, you know, say your own, but for me, I feel like if my friends did not give me grace, I will not have anybody in my life. And that grace they've keep giving to me is what made me, or it's what is making our friendship. And just because of that grace, there's times that I've been there for them, they've been there for me and stuff like that. But I just think that if friendship is a two-way street, right? I remember when I was in NYC, I also made two, you know, really good, very, really close friends. We even had a WhatsApp group and stuff. We're not as close as we were before, right? But every time we like, one is in Australia, the other one is in the UK, like everybody's doing well, right? But every time we like check on each other, there's no, so now you remember me. No, whenever we call call. It can be once in a year, but that once in a year, it's like catching up on everything, excited for each other and stuff. There is no animosity, and I love that. But now saying that, oh, because now I am now let's even say, for instance, that I am now a star, you know, and because now you now want to talk about me, I'm not telling you that you have to reintroduce what my sister. I don't know, but I just feel like that's off. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, you have a point there. You have a point there, and it's interesting because when I saw, I don't think I saw the post. I think I saw the post. The first time I saw the post, I just thought about it that, true, makes sense. And my mind just flashed to a particular person. Because sometimes when you read posts like this, when you agree, there's somebody in your mind. When you disagree, there's also somebody in your mind, you know?
Someone. Yeah.
So I remember reading it and my mind just flashed to a particular friend. And in my mind, I'm like, yes, you don't think that you now have access to me. Now I'm just thinking, you know, something like that. But yes, I will share your line of thought that yes, I agree with him, and I also do not agree with him in a particular way. And I understand that maybe the way he used reintroduction would probably be like you have to come back again. We have to start afresh again. Like we have to, you know, that reintroduction, that introduction phase. I'm thinking in my mind that he's using that as example, like a term to mean that we will start afresh, because that's the part where I will now say if that's what he meant, that's the part I would say, okay, I agree with. Because for me, I totally agree with, yes, even if there's been a gap in our friendship, in our relationship, and we now get to see each other for such a long time, I would actually, I would prefer for us to start slow. For me, I prefer for us to start slow, for us to have that kind of reintroduction, so to speak. Not like reintroduction, like I'm this, I'm that, but like, take things slow and get to know each other. For example, if, like, I would say I've kept all the friends that I had while I was in uni till date, because we kind of just moved on in life together. We kind of moved up. But friends that I had in secondary school, for example, or friends that were in my neighborhood, or friends that, there's a particular friend that I never even thought that we would have such a distance between us. You know, after secondary school, the period where I was writing JAM, writing IGMB, A-levels exam, we did those things together. And, you know, it was during the time where I was looking for admission, you're looking for admission, that was the time. And I went to my school. She traveled out of the country for studies, and that was where there was a gap, you know. We were keeping in touch after some time. We just stopped keeping in touch, you know. It just felt like, there's so much distance, and maybe, you know, the time zones and all of those things, you make new friends there, activities there. There are now new relationships for her to nurture, while there was new relationship for me to nurture as well. So, you know, there was just a big gap. Now we mostly talk on social media, right? We mostly talk on social media, and just like, okay, when I see her child's birthday, things like that, I'm like, oh, happy birthday. When she does something, when she shares something, I like the post, I share the post, or things like that, you know. So imagine now maybe I have moved to the city where she is. Of course, I'll call her and be like, oh, I'm in this place, so show me around, because she's somebody that I've known before. But would I allow, or let's say even she's moving to my own area now, and she's expecting that, okay, we will just continue from where we, besties that we used to be before. I would actually prefer that we take things slow, because honestly, with the same reasons, we have both changed. We, in the space of 4 years, 5 years, we have actually matured. The person I knew at that time, like this lady, the lady that I knew at the time, seeing her now with kids and with husband, even though I have kids and I'm married too, it's weird for me, to be honest. I can't reconcile the two persons together. I'm still seeing her, the person I know, the person that I was friends with did not have a child. The person that I was friends with was still single, like she was still that pepe. Now I see her, she's all put together, she's all organized, and it's, you know, and especially when we've not seen each other, and it's even easier now when I'm even seeing her on social media. I can say, oh, I saw you eat bread last week. Oh, you still like bread. Or I saw you go take ice cream. Oh, you still enjoy taking ice cream. But the one that you people do not see each other for a while, you just, things like that it can be weird. I'm like, I don't know where are we? Like, I don't get it. Like, do we still do the things we used to do, or have you changed? Are you a different person? Like, so I would prefer that we start slow. I don't know if you have loyalty or allegiance to this new set of friends, such that if I used to tell you things before and I trusted that you could keep them a secret, now do I trust you in that same capacity that you will not tell these new people that you have your loyalty to, you have allegiance to, you know, you are like, I don't know if things have changed for you as much as things have changed for me. I'm no longer the same person that she knew back then as well. Like, I remember the things we used to talk about back in the day, the way we used to gist, the way we used to do a lot of, you know, childish things back in the day. And now I have a lot that I'm doing, you know. I'm not, you know, in that childish. Of course, that childish behavior might still be in one corner of my mind, my life, and the way I do things, but it's not the totality of who I am. So we will just have to get to know each other in a way. We'll just have to start slow. So I agree in that area that yes, we need to take it slow because there's been a gap I don't understand. And you know what I learned from, there was one of my friends that we actually went to secondary school together and we were really close and all of that. And you know, we were talking one day, we used to like catch up every now and then, we followed each other's journey, kind of, you know, so to speak. In my own opinion anyways, because she might have a different opinion because we have not kept in touch in a while. And for my own part, it was deliberate because I knew that I blocked her on the channel that, yes, I knew that I blocked her. So I don't know, but for me, to the point that I blocked her, I knew she had already blocked me out. Like, I got the signs. I mean, I don't wait for you to come and tell me like, okay, we're not doing this friendship again. Or, I don't wait, and I don't ever anticipate closure or anything like that. Once I know that and I get the signs that yes, this is done, I move on very swiftly and I get on with my life. So on my own end, I think we were kind of, we keep in touch and all of that every now and then. So there was a particular day we were just having a conversation and they were like, and I talked about my mom. And, you know, the conversation kind of led to our life back then. And I was like, oh, my mom this. And she was like, oh, I thought your mom died after so time. And I was like, no. And that's a very fundamental part that I thought that she knew, you know. And for me that day when it occurred to me that she didn't even know the exact time after all these years that I lost my mom, it felt hurtful for me that... And then there were things that she accused me of not doing on my own part as a friend. Like, I didn't do enough on that part. And I'm like, okay, and I took responsibility for it. And I was really sorry. And I was really trying to make amends in that area. And then for me to now come and, I didn't show it like I was hurt or anything. I was just like, okay. So if you are attacking me on this level, that means that you never even knew all along that this critical part of my life at that time, you didn't even know. You know, so I kind of felt kind of a bit sad, you know, that, okay, she didn't even, like, I was like, okay, move on, you know. But I wouldn't have felt that way if she did not accuse me of certain things that I did not do. And the things that she accused me of were things that I had grown. I wasn't about that life anymore. And if she knew me enough, she would know that even back then, it wasn't me, you know. So there are times that those kind of gaps, those kind of lack of proximity, you know, like you said, I love that word that you said, proximity sometimes strengthens relationships, you know. So out of sight sometimes might be out of mind, and out of mind for a long time, especially for a long period of time, people have actually changed within that time frame that you may not actually know how to fill that gap. So that's why I would say that I would want a, you know, ease things into ease. If that my friend, for example, if she had allowed us to ease and just continue, you know, with the friendship easing into it, she would not have attacked me the way she had attacked me. Like, you should have done this way, you should have done this, I expected you to be this, I expected you to be that. And me, I'm there looking inward, trying to be a better person, and then you hit me with your own lack of knowledge from what I expected you to know. It made me feel kind of way. So if she came with that kind of, okay, let's do it, take it slow, she wouldn't have attacked me. I wouldn't have taken it personal. It would just be like, okay, out of, you probably did not know, or something like that. Do you get? So for me, I would
understand.
I would say yes, I agree on that side. On the flip side, I also do not agree with cutting people off and, you know, not allowing people in, because honestly, yeah, we've all received a certain amount of grace from people, especially friends. We've all received a level of grace from people. Like, if we've received grace, let me even talk about, you know, receive grace that we have received from God, but even from people, we've all received that allowance. So yeah, I mean, there's people that I've cut off in my life, like this person that I blocked, for example. Now, after afterwards, I did think about it that maybe I should have handled things differently. Maybe I shouldn't have blocked her. Maybe I should have shared my thoughts. I'm that kind of person that if I go to the salon, for example, and they make my hair and they did not get it well, I would never complain to you, but I will not just come to your salon again.
Me too.
That's my kind of person. I don't all these confrontations. Oh, you did this, you that. Because over time, I've seen that confrontation, talking to people about what you did not do, is if you don't do it correctly, it adds more problem than good. It causes more harm than good. So for me, I'm like, you know what? It's not what it is. Can I move forward with this friendship? I can. Can I just deal with it internally and still move on? If I can, I do. If I can't, honestly, I give it some time. After some time, I let it go. I let it go. And it might be one silly thing that because of that, I will let it go. For example, with this friend, I actually waited for her because she gave me some kind of attitude and a lot of attitude. And then I waited for her on my birthday. When I clocked 30, it was a big deal for me because when she clocked 30, we clocked 30 almost like the same year. When she clocked 30, even if we're not, I did reach out. But that one, I was expecting that you would even say at least hello or hi or this thing. Then at the end of the day, she put happy birthday and exclamation mark. I also put thank you and exclamation mark. And 2 days later, I blocked her.
Wow.
Without giving any this thing. So I was expecting, you know, sometimes I'll look back at it and I'll be like, okay, you should have at least given her grace. Maybe at the time that, you know, you were doing your birthday, maybe she was having some issues. Because, you know, she had told me before that there was a phase that she had certain issues. And, you know, maybe, so in my mind I'm thinking that, okay, did I rush? Did I come to conclusion? Rush to conclusion? Should I have given certain grace? Should I have maybe talked about it? I did think about all of that. But I've done what I've done, and I'm not even going to stress my life about it because there was a reason why I did it in the first place, you know. So yeah, sometimes I do think that we should give people grace. Yeah,
I understand that aspect of, and I don't expect that, you know, if we haven't seen each other in years, we are just going to pick up where we left off, like, and become, you know, stuff like that. Even my friends that I said, you know, even after, you know, so many months of being apart, I don't feel like I am entitled to their time or their attention, but when they give it to me, I just feel like we shouldn't make ourselves feel bad that we have not, you know, been in each other's life in a season, because the truth is friendship is a two-way street or a three-way, whichever triangle that you're in. it's one person cannot build a friendship, and that's why you have to make sure that it's a different thing if, you know, I was reaching out and you were ignoring me, you're giving me attitude every time I reach out, then I know that, okay, it's like you don't want me in your life. That's a different thing from the two of us grew apart. I got busy, you got busy. Nobody was, you know, upset with anybody. Nobody, you know, life just happened to us and we grew apart. When we come together, there is no animosity, because I know that the reason, if for any reason you reach out to me, in my mind, and this is how I think, I ask myself, do I have any right to be angry? Have I reached out to her? Have I been intentional about keeping this friendship? If I have not, we are both guilty of our friendship growing apart. Right? So if for any reason you're reaching out, you know, I make myself available, we talk, we hang out and stuff like that. Will we go back to the way, and I like what you said initially, you know, sometimes, and that's the problem with childhood friendship. When you guys, you know, when you get to certain times, you know, they continue to see you the way you were when you guys just started your friendship, right? They don't see you for who you are now, and sometimes they expect you to still be the same person, right? Especially if the other person has not grown. There are certain people that, you know, when I was in secondary school, you know, we were friends, so to speak. You know, I'm so careful of how do I use the word friends now, because we're not friends. We're just, because we attended the same school, we're acquaintances, right? And now I see them on social media and stuff. I mean, it's all fun and games. I like their pictures, but if they come into my life now, they were never close to me, and that's a different thing, right? When we're talking about friendship and we're talking about acquaintances, there are some people oh god, you remember when I was in GSS1, right? There was this lady that, you know, I really liked her. We were really close, like we were very, very close friends, right? Her name was Tosin. I'm not sure, you know, and I remember, I think in GSS2, her mom withdrew her from our school. And, you know, obviously I didn't have a phone then and stuff like that. But I remember there was a time that, you know, I rallied around some of our classmates to go to her house and to see her, and we saw her, it was nice and all of that. And after then I realized that she wasn't really reaching out and stuff. And then for one reason, I don't know how, I got in contact with her brother. And I was like, hey, how's your sister? Blah, blah, blah. Me and this girl were so close. And he was like, oh, she's fine. Can you give me her number? She gave me. And then I sent her a message. Hey, my name is, this is Victoria from, Eminence. That's the school I attended and stuff like that. And she ghosted me, like no response, no nothing. And I even followed her on social media because to me, before we can be friends, before I can call you my friend, it means that you are a part of me. So it's hard for me to just cut you off just because. I need to make sure that I tried. And this lady, I tried. Followed her on social media, she never followed back. Reached out. It was almost like she didn't even remember that I existed in that season of her life. So I realized that, my dear, but me too, I should stay where I am.
Abi.
And stop doing oversabi. So you see, you put this my dear in my mouth. Anyway, so I remained on my lane. If for any reason tomorrow she reaches out to me to say hi, I will say hi back. If we want to catch up at I can't even remember most of the memories I have about her anymore because it's been so long, right? If we want to catch up, I will catch up and stuff. But will I give her automatic 100% access into my life? Absolutely not. Why? Because I believe that we were friends a certain season and I tried my best, but you chose not to be my friend, right? So if you want to, for those kind of people, yes, we can start over. If you want to be my friend now, you're coming into my life, we have to like do it you have to reintroduce yourself. We have to literally like start over to become that person, right? But I'm talking about like friends that we were good, everything was good, but life happened, we grew apart, and if for any reason we meet ourselves in the future, as long as you're open to it and I am open to it, it's joy. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe it, it's been so long and all of that. And if we want to keep in touch, we keep in touch, and then we start to build a new friendship. Right? What I do not, and I was talking about, what you said about, because we've been friends for a while, you expect certain things of me because that is who I used to be, but I am no longer that person. I have a few people like that also that, well, a couple of, maybe one person, that I knew when I was like, in my university days and stuff, and they still reach out and say certain things that maybe during that season of my life I was open to, but I am no longer there, you understand? So if I see that, okay, our level of maturity is different, we are not in the same place intellectually, we are not in the same place, then I have to decide if this is something that I want to get into, which I think is one of the points, or maybe the points exactly that Chandler Moore was trying to make. Like, the person you knew in that season is different. God, all right. So you cannot expect that because you knew me in a season that even I cannot even recognize who I was in that season. You now come and just expect that everything will be the way it was. No, we have to you have to know who I am now. We have to, and what you said about, we have to start slowly, get to know what is going on in your life, what is your spiritual level, what is your spiritual journey, what is mine, how have we grown and stuff like that, and then we can build from there. I think one of the, maybe the unintentional message that tweet or that post on Instagram passed is, you have a friend and, for whatever reason you guys grew apart, and now that, you have become somebody, then the person can no longer approach you. The person, no, it's different. It's even the people that were not really, really close in a certain season of my life, when they reach out, I don't pretend like I don't know them, which was what was really hurtful to me when this other lady I was talking about did that. I'm not, did I even call her name? I wasn't even afraid to call her name. I called her name because sincerely, I don't even think she remembers me at all. I don't even think anyway, so it was so hurtful for me because I considered her like a sister, to me, even though it was like a very short time, but that time means a lot to me. But for me to reach out to you and you totally ignore, and I'm not what, even a hi, I remember you, or hello, total, no, that is absolutely uncalled for. And that's another thing that people, and that's the reason, see, when we put content on social media, that's why I like to do videos than to type, because sometimes people will get wrong messages from what you're saying, because people can get that and think that, oh, in this season, if anybody wants to come, you have to you cannot just get, you have to reintroduce, you have to,
do you know that thing is even, aside from even him saying, it's a thing with people nowadays, the cancel culture, it's a thing, every time something, you cancel the person.
Have you been the best of friends? If you are being honest, have you yourself been the best of friends to the people in your life? So life happens to everybody, and I hate this thing that we do this day, especially 31st of December. You hear people saying people you need to cut off from your life. People you need. I'm like, can you keep quiet, my sister? Even you need to be cut off from people's lives because nobody is perfect. Life is happening to everyone, so you can't just expect that because a person wasn't there for you. You don't even try to hear their own story, and that's me. Before I cut you off from my life, which I hardly ever do, the highest, unless you are a bad influence, that one, Lester, you are off. I don't even need to cut you off. You yourself will cut me off because I will call you out on your bullshit. Yeah. Anyways, what was I even saying? Yeah, but it's not a matter of, I would try to understand what's going on. Hey, we haven't, and that's one thing I love about my friend Christy. Like as gritty as she is, she will get angry. Christy has left her. Christy has left our WhatsApp group before out of anger that we have not spoken for a while. She has like blasted us several times, especially when I relocated and we had time difference. Like you would think that she's my husband, the way that she carries, and I love her absolutely for that because she's so intentional about her friendship. And if it's not for her, I'm not sure that I'll be able to say, oh, my two closest friends, my star, I won't have any closest friends if not because one person out of us is so, and me and the other Bolaji, you guys already know them. We too, we are like, we get easily carried away with life and things. But when we come together, we hang out, we do what? Christy's not like that too. Like, she too can get carried away. Like, when she got busy with her job and stuff, but she always makes time for us. And that's the thing about friendship. There's a saying in Yoruba that 20 friends cannot play together for 20 years. It's impossible. People are going to fall apart on the way. People would, life would divert people into different angles. But as much as you can, give people grace. You don't know what they are going through. At least try. The least you can do is, sister, I reached out. What's going on? You didn't even like this lady I'm telling you, she ever reaches out to me, I'll tell her, like, you totally act as if I don't exist, and like, so what happened? I want to understand your mindset. So why are you coming back now? Are you coming back because you now see me as something that you need, and that's why you're here? Like, I want to understand what is the mindset and the thought process around that. But the idea that I'm trying to pass is like this Gen Z and this this attitude of always just like cut people off and stuff. It's not helpful because they are not there for you in this doesn't mean that you won't need their help. And that's the thing about life. There's anything I've learned in life is in circles. There are people who have done me so wrong in one season and the next season they never knew that they are going to need my help. And me, as a child of God, I always help you. But in your conscience, I know your conscience, you know that what goes around always comes around. And give people grace. I have received grace, and that's why I give grace to everyone around me. But I understand what Chandler Moore was also trying to say, that listen, people in different, you cannot see me the same way. When you come, you need to understand that I am not that person, and we need to start again. You need to get to know who I am now. I need to get to know who you are now. I guess that is what he's trying to pass across, and not just that if you want to come, you have to go through the protocol to be able to get to me because we are not close anymore. I don't think, I don't believe that is his message. I believe that his message is like, you know what, we have changed, you've grown, I've grown, let's catch up, let's get to know who we are, let's get to but that's you don't have access to me and stuff like that. No, I mean, what do we gain? But anyway, that's it though. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
I just you're absolutely right. If the dynamics of the relationship in the first season will determine how we take it up in this next season, because like you said, if it's something that you deliberately snubbed me, that one is a different dynamics. Or and if it's a situation where
I still follow the lady on social media to today, the truth is I don't harbor any hatred or any anger.
Definitely.
In short, if not now, in short, as we're talking, that's when I remember like, wait a minute, I've had this kind of instance, but I see and I like her. Like, I don't even like, she's that person that she's just one of those people I follow on social media. I don't, you understand? Like, you would follow somebody that you do not even know. That's it.
So of course the dynamics of how you people met will just determine how you take it. Like, if a friend I had, she is, and sometimes I consider her a very good friend, because the thing is, if you've done something significantly good for me in a season of my life, I would really hold on to that even in the next season and be like, oh, at that season, she was really, this is the person I know her to be, you know, and that will give me grace. That will make me give you grace in the next period, in the next season. But that would still not make me instantly just warm up to you. But that's something that I can hold on to, that, I know this person she is. And that would make me like, you know, warm up to the new season, warm up to the relationship and see how it goes. Doesn't mean like immediately I will give you the access that we used to have pre the first period. There was this friend I had in secondary school. She was my friend up until GSS 3. I won't say we are friends now anymore because obviously, you know, except I just want to use the word friend loosely now. But we're good friends. Like, she was the first friend I made as I got to secondary school like this. She saw me with my parents. She saw how naive, shy I was. And she came, she reached out. She carried my bed for me. Like, she was really a good friend. Really a good friend in my junior days. And then we talked a lot. We shared our concerns. We really talked a lot. And she was one of those friends that even when she didn't get bullied as much, she was really pretty. She was really pretty. So I don't know if it's the prettiness that people were just using to just, you know, forgive her and just let her go or whatever the case may be. But she was really pretty, and she was just a very good friend, you know. And when she left in GS3, in fact, she even got to know that my mom had gone before me, you know. When we saw each other at the beginning of the term, when I was coming into school now, with a new, my life had changed at the time, and I was coming to school, and the person that I was looking forward to sharing and just crying over her shoulders with, I went to school, I saw her the first day. She was packing her things to leave our school. So it was just like double loss of me. And I remember during the holidays, I would search for her on Facebook. I would try to ask for her number. I would really look for...
That was what I was doing to this lady too,
I didn't get anything. Like, if I hear that somebody knows about her whereabouts, because I remember there was one time, a lady told me that, she asked of me that they talked, because our mom knows her mom and things like that, and that she asked of me, and I was like, oh, my friend still remembers me, things like that. Like, I was really excited for a friend that I've not seen. Like, for years, I searched for all the names that I knew how to have. I didn't see it on Facebook, and it was just like that. One time, and I've not used Facebook in a very long time. Then one time,
let's round up.
I just really like opened, you know, my Facebook, and I just saw her post. I saw her friend's request, and I accepted it. And you know, it was just like a breath of fresh air, and we were just so excited. We chatted for that first few days, and afterwards, it was like, what then do we talk about now? Like, what then should be like? Okay, all the excitement has come out of our body now. We've gotten each other's contacts. I followed each other. So what then do we do from here? Like, I don't know where, like, questions to ask. I don't know whether this question is insensitive. I don't know the way we used to talk so much back in the day. I don't know if all those things that we used to talk about, for me to follow up and ask, oh, how did this person now go? Oh, how did this thing happen? Oh, I didn't know. I'm sure it was the same for her to ask me, oh, how are things like we just didn't know how to move on from there. So sometimes it happens like that you will really need to like take it slow. So I'm just going to say that when you are in a new season and a friend that you people used to know each other before, don't automatically put an embargo or don't automatically put something, because even if there's going to be a gate or a wall between you guys, it would tell, like the relationship would let you know that there should be a wall. We didn't plan to say, okay, let there be restrictions. It just happened that we just didn't know how to do things from there, you know. So we should not already put a placement on it and just allow the relationship to tell you if the person is
die a natural death.
To die a natural death. You know, there are some things that you don't need to cancel. It will fizzle out on its own. You know, it will just go naturally. So we shouldn't just be too quick to cancel, to call to label things, to label people, label friendship, everything toxic. You know.
See, we need to do a series about words we should cut out from our vocabulary in this year. I think that certain words last year, like is the narcissist. Narcissists suffer last year.
Jesus.
Everybody is a narcissist. Especially after that show. I can't remember the name of that show that happened on YouTube.
That therapy now, blue therapy or something like that.
Narcissist, toxic. We need to cut it short. Let's stop it this year, okay?
Yeah, that's just it. That's just it from me, Jerry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. Let us know what you guys think about this topic. Do you cut off friends from your life? What degree does it have to get to before you cut them off? What is your take about this particular post and what we have said? Right. Let us know in the comment section below. So Yemi, do you want to close out?
Yes. So yes. We have finished today's episode. As Victoria said, just leave your comments, leave your thoughts, let us know what you think. And also, if you're yet to subscribe at this point, I don't know. There's nothing to be stingy about. There's nothing to withhold with this your subscription. You know, just click on it. It's free. It's free. It's just and you just enjoy awesome, wholesome, interesting conversation. Okay, so please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss out on any of our videos. And if you're yet to subscribe to our personal channels as well, my channel is Yemi Ayodeji and Victoria is Victoria Fash. And again, we are available on all your podcast platforms. And do not forget that you can reach out to us, whatever it is that you need to tell us, you want to share with us, you want to work with us. Like, we are not running from that kind of situation, okay? Anything that you want to do with us, you can send us an email. Again, it will all be in the description box. All the details will be in the description box. You can follow us on Instagram. Anything you don't want to share in the comment section, you can send us a DM. We are available. Send us an email. We are always here for you guys, okay? Please do not forget that. Available on all your podcast platforms. All the links will be in the description box for your convenience, just because we love you. All right, so as always, we remain your favorite host, Yemi and
Victoria.
Yes. See you guys. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye.